Joshua, Rob, gentlemen, congratulations. Your hard work has paid off, and you are both moving forward into the final round of the Supersized competition. You probably noticed that throughout this competition, we had a little bit of a theme. There were 2 giant springs, we had 2 ice blocks, and there were 2 punching bags. And we're gonna keep that theme of 2s going. You guys will have 4 days to build these. A pair of elephant fighting swords.
Awesome.
The double elephant fighting swords, or Dab Nagao, trace their origins back to 18th century Lam Na Kingdom in modern-day Thailand. Used by mounted elephant warriors, these massive heavy blades featured a long handle to assist in counterbalance. Both blades measure around 30 inches and feature a flame-back spine and upswept tip. These swords were designed not only to attack other mounted soldiers with lethal stabs and slashes, but the ridges and peaks along the spine had the ability to trap an adversary's blade. Today, these swords are still used in traditional Thai martial arts.
This is the largest pair of weapons we have ever asked Smiths to go home and make. So good luck. We will see you both in 4 days.
Do this. My name is Josh Meyer. I'm 47 years old from Flagstaff, Arizona, and I've been smithing for about 5 years. My biggest strength with smithing is probably the variety of things I do, because I'm not just a bladesmith. I'm a full-time artist. I work primarily in the mediums of stone, steel, and wood. I've decided I want to make Damascus for these blades. I've only got 1 forge, so I'm going to get both of those billets in there if I can, so I can rotate the billets back and forth and keep this process going along. So far, looking good. So grinding these 3 flames into the top of these blades is pretty tricky, and I can't mess this up because this is attached to this entire sword. I want to make sure that these flames look really nice because every little detail counts, and if Rob does better than me, or if I grind one too short, I could really mess myself up. Like it. So I've got the profile shaped out, I've got the flames all nice, so now it's time for me to get this thing heat treated because my time is ticking. Oh yeah, straight as an arrow, wow. So now it's time to do the glue up. I've got so many holes, I'm really concerned about making sure that all the pins fit in there and everything hooks up together nicely. Yeah. Okay, saved it. Now I gotta hurry up. I named my swords Chaos and Tranquility just because I used 2 different types of walnut and it was sort of a yin and a yang feel for me. All glued up. Rob, I hope you did well, buddy, because it's game time. Woo!
My name is Rob Harvey. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I work for the Department of Veterans Affairs, and I'm a part-time bladesmith. I was in the Marine Corps, and I actually spent most of my time in Okinawa, Japan. I definitely take influence from the Japanese style of bladesmithing. I had a great respect for visiting their shops in Japan. My goal is to make a 150-layer Damascus billet. I'm gonna forge out both blades and hopefully get them heat treated. Getting there. I've never done anything this big, but I'm moving pretty quickly, very efficiently, so I can start building up my heat treating oven. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to modify this a little bit to get the swords in here, but gonna have to do. Because of the size of these blades, being able to heat these blades up evenly is very challenging. There's 1. There's 2. There were no cracks, warps, nothing crazy like that. But my biggest concern throughout the entire Home Forge challenge was my heat treating. You know, my heat treating oven was not up to par for handling that type of heat treatment. I really just hope that they're strong enough. Nice and smooth. At first, I was a little worried about what I had to do with this Supersized challenge, but ultimately, I feel really good about it. They feel good in the hand. I met all the parameters. Both my swords are light and fast, and they're sharp.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the KEAL test. Rob, you're first. Ready for this?
Absolutely. Let's do it. At first sight, these tests are definitely terrifying because I know that my blades had some struggles in the heat treating area. I'm so nervous.
All right, Rob, let's talk about your elephant fighting swords here. First up, the Damascus patterns you have here are stunning. But we have a problem. During the test, both blades took a very significant bend. As you can see here, they're kind of offset, they're not centered. And judging by how extreme these are, it looks like there's a major heat treat issue with both your blades. With every strike, they will continue to bend more and more. So unfortunately, I would not feel safe testing them further.
Now, Rob, both of your blades did make it through our kill test, but in the midst of that test, they both took very serious bends down near the handle. Our judges did decide to issue a vote of no confidence, and we cannot continue testing your blades. But you're not out of the fight yet. Joshua, in order to take home the title of Forge and Fire champion and get a check for 10 grand, your blades will have to make it through our kill test with no disqualifying issues. Are you ready?
I am so ready. Let's do this.
All right, Joshua, let's talk about your elephant swords here. These blades are nicely done. I don't see any damage to your blades. They're nice and tight and straight. Overall, your weapons will KEAL.
Thank you.
Well, Joshua, congratulations. Your blades made it through the kill test completely unscathed. Now, Rob, we want to say thank you for coming out and trying so hard in this competition, but your time in the Forge has ended. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the Forge floor.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Well, Joshua, you are the new Forge and Fire champion. You're gonna be receiving a check for $10,000. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, guys. Feels amazing. It's very surreal. I can't believe it.
You got plans for the money?
Going back to my shop.
Right on.
This was a huge personal journey for me, but as a full-time bladesmith and artist, it pushed my creativity, ingenuity, and it was incredible. I'm Joshua Meyer, and I'm the Forge and Fire champion.
John, Michael, gentlemen, congratulations. The two of you have made it through the first 2 rounds of our competition and are moving forward into the final round where you're heading back to your home forges to build an iconic weapon from history. This is the largest blade we have ever asked bladesmiths to make in the final round. Gentlemen, in 4 days, you will have to build this. The Grote Pier sword.
During the 16th century, a larger-than-life warrior in the Netherlands, known to the locals as Grote Pier, or the Giant Pier, wielded this massive sword in battle. Pier's size made him the subject of folklore and legend, but the physical size of his sword speaks for itself. The 15-pound, nearly 7-foot-tall sword is the largest European sword ever to be used in combat. As a mercenary and pirate, Grote Pier is believed to have wielded this weapon with ease, delivering devastating blows to any enemy that got in his way. And it can be seen today at the Friese Museum in the Netherlands.
Now, guys, good luck. You have 4 days to complete your massive swords. We will see you then.
My name is John Simons from Indianapolis. I have 3 years bladesmithing. Most of that's all self-taught. I love doing this. Some people want to go to Disney World. I want to come here. This is my vacation, so I'm really looking forward to it. This blade is so long, I can only heat up about 8 inches at a time and press it. Just a very repetitive process. Prepping for this quench is going to take a little time. I have 3 forges. I can get nearly all that sword in the forges at once. This is a supersized quench tank. Never used it yet. We're going to test it out today. Quenching this, I've never had to climb 5 rungs of a ladder. Everything needs to go right because there's not enough time to do it all over again. Hope for the best. I didn't feel anything abnormal when it quenched. It is hard, and most importantly, it is straight. All the components are there. They just need some finishing touches and put an edge on it. The blade, it is 100% complete. I'm exhausted, but inside it feels wonderful. The mother of all swords.
My name is Michael Dillon, 54 years old, been forging for 30 years. I started making knives for props in the movie industry. I'm pretty confident, but wearing my pants may fall down. That's why I have a belt and suspenders. I'm used to building big stuff. Some of my sculptures weigh up to 6,500 pounds, so this is in the realm of what I'm used to working on. My quench tank's buried 6 feet in the earth. Here we go up this ladder. This thing is huge. Guard done, pommel done. The plan is to grind 1.5 pounds off this blade. Everything's coming out, nice shape. And I'm gonna start the finish of the blade and the guard and the pommel. I'm really happy with it. I really gotta hit something with this. I just can't let it pass. Nasty.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the KEAL test. John, you are up first. Are you ready?
You know I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. All right, John, let's talk about your sword here. What I like is that you use a nice, hefty counterbalance, because despite being a heavy sword like this, it's wieldable. The edges are sharp, it cut deeply. I like that the guard also is not so massive that it gets in the way. And overall, it will KEAL.
Awesome.
All right, Michael, your turn. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. All right, Michael, that's a beast. That's a beautiful beast. Now your edge is sharp. That really cuts deep into the pig carcass. It is a nice, heavy weight, but controllable, and more importantly, it will KEAL.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, it's time for our strength test. The sheet metal chop. Now, there are 3 layers of 20-gauge sheet metal in each one of these things. And John, you are up first. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Okay. All right, John, very nice job on this sword. It's got a good weight to it. The blade itself, there are some slight rolls, but it's still plenty sharp. One comment I might have is that the blade's lean enough that it's very flexible. When I pick it up, that tip kind of drops maybe 3 inches of flex. You start to swing that blade, you don't know where that tip's gonna go. It's flopping around. But it did its job. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Michael, you ready for this?
Give it hell.
Oh, good, because this is so much fun. All right, Michael, balance point, right where I freaking want it. It's a little bit more of a firm blade. It doesn't quite wiggle as much. As far as damage, just the very edge has rolled, but I would not drag my finger down that edge, it would still open me up. Knocked out of the park. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test, the watermelon and water jug slice. John, you're up first. You ready for this?
I am.
All right, let's do this. All right, John, let's talk about your blade here. The edge, it cut the first watermelon cleanly and then just wobble. There's so much wobble in this. As Dave said, there's just so much flex in this blade. You don't know where the tip is gonna go. And that's what happened on the watermelon slice. On the water jugs, clean cut. Even the tops are still there, wondering what happened. Overall, your Grote Pier, it'll cut.
Thank you.
Michael, your turn. So you ready?
You bet.
All right, let's do this. All right, Michael, let's talk about your blade here. First up, on a watermelon slice, much easier. Not much flex on the blade, just easy. Just keep it and let it drop and let it do its work, and it cut all the way through. On the water jug slice, it did cut. Overall, your sword, it will cut.
Thank you.
That was pretty rad. All right, gentlemen, in this supersized competition, we gave you a task on a scale unlike anything we've ever seen before in this forge. And the blades you brought back here impressed all of us. But as you know, only one of you can take home the title of Forge and Fire champion and get that check for 10 grand. And the judges did make a final decision. Today's Forge and Fire champion is Michael. Congratulations. Now, John, you gave us an unbelievable blade, but it missed by just this much, and Dave's gonna tell you why.
John, this decision really came down to the extreme flexibility of your blade. That's why we're letting you go.
John, you are an unbelievable smith, but unfortunately your time in this competition has ended. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the forge floor.
I had a blast. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John.
Well, Michael, that makes you the Forge and Fire champion. You're taking home a check for $10,000. Well done, man.
I'm Forge and Fire champion. This is the first blade I've ever forged of this size. I'm very proud of my performance. It's very important to me to share the craft and to educate people and make some badass swords.